Academic Affairs candidate for PG, Vishaka. So we will. Shall I start? Yeah.
Start again.
Okay. So I'll introduce myself. I am Krishnaraj K. I am current General Secretary Academic Affairs PG, and we have 4 members in the panel for the soapbox, and we have Srirag, who is current EM in the Masters wing of PGAC, and we have Surya Varchasvi, who is ex-member of PhD wing of PGAC, and we have Netaji. He has been the IRSCP OC in the last tenure, and we have Simhadri Aditya, who is the ISCP OC in the current tenure. And we have Vishaka this side, who is contesting for GSA PG. So I'll just explain the rules. We will start with the candidate giving opening statement. It should be maximum of 3 minutes, and then we will have the manifesto debate. We will have maximum of 9 questions from the panel, and then we will have a topic debate. There will be 4 topics which is already communicated to the candidate, out of which 2 will be selected, and based on the topics selected, candidate will be given 2 minutes to make an opening statement on each topic, and then panel will have a debate with the candidate. And then we have questions from inside, 2 questions, and then we also have background check questions corresponding to the background information given by the candidate, and then 20 minutes of audience discussion. Okay, Vishaka, you can start with your opening statement.
Okay, hi everyone, I am Vishaka. I am PhD third year electrical engineering student. So before this, I was a master's student from IIT Bombay, Geoinformatics and Natural Resources, CSRE. So I have been in PGAC from 2 years. I was ACC in my first year, and then I was executive member PGAC in my second year, and till present I am executive member. So right now I am going for General Secretary Academic Affairs, and if elected I will work to improve all the prospects of a PG community, like development in skills, academics. I will also try my level best to enhance the mental health and well-being of a PG student. Also, if elected, I will try to improve the visibility of PGAC and improve the knowledge flow between departments. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so now let's move on to the manifesto debate. Okay, so we can start the question.
Right. Am I audible? Yeah. So, hi Vishaka, thank you for your nomination. I think we'll start off with the very first point, that's in your skill development point. So, you've said that you'll provide with industry-specific placement training for core company aspirants, right? So, what exactly is the idea behind it? What is the motivation, and what would be your roadmap? Like, how would you plan it throughout the year?
Okay, industry-specific placement training, what I meant from is sessions, awareness sessions for the core companies which come to the campus, and how to, like what are the software skills a PG student needs, like Python. There are not only Python, Python is non-core. So for core, there are CAD, HFSS, CST, ADS. So there are many softwares which needs specific training. So for them, in collaboration with placement cell, we can organize sessions on it, and which will improve our placements for PG students. Yeah.
So that was like the motivation. Could you also tell how would you plan it in the coming year?
Okay, so my plan is, so I have 4 steps. So first is doing the survey and getting to know what students want to have, what students, what companies they are planning to target, and what software skills or industry specific placement skills they want to have. And that's the data collection, and then we can I can have a team where we invite the speakers, we invite seniors like PhD students or master RA students, we invite them and ask them to give sessions on it.
Yeah, you can do the report.
Hello. Yeah, so my concern was, let's get a comparison between the bachelor's and the PhD program. We have 100 students in the bachelor's program and 100 students in the PhD program. Now, out of those 100, let's say 80 are sitting for the placements. And if you see the training program for them, mostly they'll be software specific or some common topics that are taught in the bachelor's program. But when it comes to PhD, if you have 80, let's say it's not 80, it's too high, out of 100, hardly 50, 60 will be interested in the placements.
Right.
Out of them, few will be given recommendation by their guides.
Right.
Out of them, few will be eligible for few companies because very few companies allow PhDs to sit.
Yes.
And out of them, people having common interest is, again, there is a subset. So it will boil down to very few people having, similar interests. Let's say I'm working in memory, you're working in some transistors. In those cases, if you make specific training programs, you need 10 specific people from industry and 10 different things to teach.
Right.
So that means rather than it's a program, it's an individual case-to-case basis training.
Yes.
So can it be initiated as a program? Is it even possible?
So my goal, what I visioned was for master students mostly, but this can be applied, extended to PhD students also. We can have seniors, like we had one program in electrical engineering department, graduation to voyage, where they used to tell us that how they have, what kind of sessions, what kind of workshops they have done to crack such kind of placement. So for them, we can also have, we can extend this program to PhD students also, individually. We can invite these PhD students who have already been placed and ask them to give a session on how they have done that and what kind of skills they needed to do it. And yeah.
Yeah, total 5. So, yeah.
So I have 2 points here. Firstly, one was regarding the placement team, right? So what you're saying, the action that you're saying that you'll be doing, it's something that the placement cell already does with DPCs in every department, right? So firstly, how do you differentiate what you're doing with what they are already doing? Second, is that you mentioned that you'll call core companies to come in and actually give a talk so that they students can know what they actually require, right?
Yeah.
How will you go about it? Because you'll need some contact from XYZ companies that are coming or not. So you'll have to have prior information as to what company will be actually coming in. It's some sort of that data,
Yes.
which only the placement team has. So getting it from them will be a very difficult task. So if you can you shed light on these 2 points, please?
Yeah, so I have I can have 2 ways about this. One is collaborating with placement cell and then asking them to have a data of what previous year what previous year companies came to the campus and what sessions they had, like what were the like MATLAB is there and then MathWorks comes and yeah. So one thing is in coordination with the placement cell, we can have that. They will. It's already published. The placement statistics of 2021. It's already published. It's out there. So we can have the data that which companies came and what skills they needed. Another thing is by going through the alumni and then having a session where what kind of skills they had and how they prepared for their placements, and then organizing those sessions for the those students who are sitting for placements.
Yeah, then again, like it's something that the DPCs are already doing. They're calling
Yes.
like your immediate seniors, the batch before them. So they're already holding such talks in the this thing department. So
Yes,
what is this?
it is there for master students, not for PhD students. So PhD students can also have that, and also I believe it can be more, more frequent. Right now it's not very frequent. We can have it more frequently.
Yeah, move on to the next question.
Yeah, so in the academics and R&D, you have mentioned the first point as introduce an academic help program for the first year PhD students who need guidance.
Yes.
So my first concern is it's an abstract statement that academic help program. What kind of help you have to mention, and who need guidance? What kind of guidance you have to specify? Number one. But the question is, already we have a setup of student mentorship program under which this IRSCP and ISCP work. So IRSCP has a department coordinator in the department. So right from the beginning, when they take admission, he is the only point of contact. They know and they ask questions. And I have been a part of that setup. So why we need another setup? Or if you think there is a need of another setup, how different it will be from IRSCP?
Okay, so we need this setup because most of the departments now has a CPI based cutoff for the qualifiers. So it's very important for PhD students to get a certain CPI, and if they are not having that much CPI, they won't be able to continue their PhD. So this academic help is my vision is to have a teaching assistant kind of thing where they teach the senior PhD students teach these subjects to the first year PhD students who need guidance. So some students might be facing a lot of problem while they go through their coursework in terms of how to do the project, how to get better marks than master students, and because it will be a relative grading. So for them we can have very on voluntary basis we can have some senior PhD students who are willing to give their free time to these first year PhD students. I'm also thinking to propose TA certificates to these senior PhD students.
Let's say I am working under one professor, so the natural way is I will go to the seniors of the same lab, and they must have taken the same course as I would be taking.
Yes.
So it's natural to go to them and take guidance, and I'm free to take guidance from them rather than taking from a person I don't know, but the academic setup has given me.
Yes.
Even if
Right.
again there I have a department coordinator or some seniors that I know already. So I think there is a pre-existing system. Rather,
No,
we can let them know how to approach the persons rather than creating a new system.
So there is a system, but that system is informal. That system depends on how your relationship is with the seniors, and seniors are not getting anything out of it. Just free, free help. That's just a charity for them. They are just helping you out of their goodwill. That's it. So, but if we introduce this kind of program and we introduce TA certificates approved by the HOD, so they can also gain something out of teaching the juniors. So that's why I feel like this program would be a good.
Already we are giving the TA excellence certificates.
Right.
So this will be parallel TA certificate you are telling
Yes,
about.
this is voluntary basis. So teaching excellence in teaching assistantship is for the TA duty that we do.
Yes.
That's 8 hours. That's limited. If someone if someone wants to teach more, if someone wants to help their junior, they can also have a TA certificate. That would be a good initiative, I feel like.
So
we have IRSCP department coordinators, right? So why can't we use them as this? So why do you want to introduce again an academic help program rather than you can use IRSCP department coordinators? So you can tell we will have this TA-ship program. So you can directly take them from them, right? So again, why do you want to introduce some?
So IRSCP is one, as general for PhD students, IRSCP is one per department. Okay, so one student cannot teach all the specializations which are there. So in various departments in civil there are 7 specializations. So one department, this IRSCP, one student from IRSCP cannot teach all the students. Yeah, so for that.
So do you know how many students turn up for IRSCP and how you think they will turn up for this program?
So actually I believe that different students have different interests. I believe there are some PhD students who do not want to go for mentorship but are really interested in teaching students, getting experience on teaching students, teaching PhD students. So for them it will be, they might be interested in doing such thing.
Yeah, next, go to the next.
Okay, so you have mentioned about exploring the possibility of a minor degree in PhD, right? So as far as I understand, minor degree is very popular in the bachelors. Why? Because apart from their own department, let's say I am from mining department and I have an interest in the data science, so I'll be taking the minor. It's lucrative for the placement purpose as well. But now once we are at the PhD level, that means we have narrowed down our interest. And now we don't want to go anywhere, or at least play in the same range somewhere. If we want to introduce minor at that stage, means the person is not sure where in what direction he is going in life, right? And even if you put that in your sheet in the CV, when the company comes, let's say electrical, you are sitting for Intel, and you have a minor in some other department, they will ask you questions based on your CV and mainly your thesis. PhD thesis, because that's what you have been doing for 5 years. So then aren't they polar opposite? Like what my thesis is and I am thinking about minor at the end of PhD, or after PhD you are thinking about postdoc, then of course you are not going for the minor thing. How they are related at PhD level?
Okay, so what I believe is one should not cross their own path. So a PhD student generally on an average spends 5 years in their college time, during that research time. So why not? Like, why to not have an option of having a minor degree? What I believe is let's say if an electrical PhD student wants to have a minor degree in CSE and wants to do those courses, why there should not be a program? There is already in UG, there is already in PG, in some cases, master students. So why not in PhD students also? There are some academically meritorious students who want to do their PhD, get placed in their own core company, that's okay, but also want to explore other opportunities. And for them it is there. It is not there, but I want to introduce it to...
Okay, in the current setup, if you take a subject from other department, isn't it possible? I have taken that. No one has restricted me. So someone can take that.
Yeah, but you can take as many as you want, but you won't be getting a minor degree. So, but if there is a provision to have a minor degree, so for UG students there is, if you complete 30 credits, so you can get a minor degree. So that 30 credits means 5 courses. For master students, 12 credits. So if you complete 12 credits, you get a minor degree. So I believe that a PhD student spends 5 years, and if they want, and in first year they complete their coursework. So if they want to do something which interests them, like let's say a mechanical student wants to have basic bachelor levels knowledge of coding. So they can do these minor courses from CSE and have a degree.
Okay, and looking at the current setup and current condition of the PhDs in this institute coming to the ground reality, how popular this will be considering the fact that people are already burdened with their research work plus coursework and these qualifiers?
Yeah, it will be tough, but there are exceptions, and I believe कि there will be lots of students who would be interested. There would be academically meritorious students who would like to explore. Later on, they might also, after PhD, student starts looking at their career in a different way. So yeah, why not?
So I just want to confirm two things. So you want to give a minor in PhD or minor in bachelor's?
Minor in bachelor's.
Okay. So one more thing, if a student wants to work in two departments, he can have collaboration with faculty, right, professor? So if he want to work in electrical and mechanical engineering, so he can collaborate with both the professors. And if you are mentioning PhD minor, at least he should publish one paper. Without publishing a paper or without doing some research, real research work, how can he get PhD minor in some different?
But for that, they already are doing a PhD. So they are doing a PhD and they are doing their research work. They are publishing their papers. So that is completely different, and they are also having a minor degree, which is of bachelor's level.
So okay. Which is bachelor's minor degree. So you
Yes.
just want to do courses in that.
Yes. We can explore the ideas of having project and these things, but this is how I have visioned it right now. But we can definitely explore it to PhD level.
Just one small technicality basically. So minors are basically, when you offer minors, it's basically something that you're doing apart from your majors, right? So in PhD, you're not even doing a major, you're just working on one single topic. It's not even a major study, right? So does it necessarily have to be called minors in the very first place? Because what will your degree look like? You've done your PhD in XYZ topic and you have a minors in, say, for example, computer science. It doesn't really fit. For masters, it's okay. For undergraduate studies, it's okay. For when you're coming to a PhD, you're working on a specific topic. Does minors really make sense in such a scenario?
I have not decided on the nomenclature yet, and I mean, it looks better to have PhD with minor in PhD in electrical engineering with minor in CSE than having just PhD in electrical engineering. So.
Okay, let's go to the next question.
Sure. Okay. This is about the establish a CPI-based qualifier across all the departments. As you already know, some of the departments have done away with the qualifiers and have started with the annual progress seminars. Why re-establish one which was requested by the students and removed? Qualifiers was removed in some of the departments, for instance, electrical department, and they have come. It starts with APS, annual progress seminars. Why do you want to reintroduce something which was removed in the first place?
Okay, so I will tell you about my vision, what I thought. I thought that I wanted to have something which the electrical department already has. We know that it has 8 CPI cutoff, and if PhD students do not get 8 CPI, they will be removed from their PhD degrees. So this CPI based qualifier means that for departments where there is qualifier, where there is a written test to qualify, and after that qualification they will have their PhD registration. There are some department where qualifiers are in such a way that they have to present, and there will be a viva after presentation, and if they qualify that, then they will be registered student of PhD. So I want to implement a CPI-based cutoff qualifier across all the departments. So electrical has, like many department has, but there are some department which still have the old ways of these qualifiers. So for them.
Yeah, it is department specific, right? Like your vision, fine, but how did you come up with this? Like, did students request or it is your vision? How did you come up with this?
So
Because in the
to-
first place, let me complete. In the first place, it was requested by those specific department students and it was removed. So let the specific departments decide what they want, how they want it. Why do you want it, make it generic across all the departments? Why?
Okay, so one thing that, yeah, we have collected the data, and a lot of PhD students feel like they have to, after qualifying through CPI, after having a very good CPI and after completing all those subjects, they still have to prepare for these qualifiers, have to write a written exam for these qualifiers, and which for these kind of qualifier exam they have to put a lot of effort, around 2 to 3 months 2 to 3 months get wasted due to these for preparation of these qualifiers. So yeah, so for, okay, may I take the name of the department? No?
Yeah, you can take the name of the department, but not any person.
Okay, so mechanical department has it, and for them they have to prepare for 2 to 3 months to give these qualifiers, and I believe it is a waste of time for PhD student. They can put this much of effort in their research and can do better, because they are already preparing for the subjects. They are already going through the exams of those particular subjects. So why to give a qualifier? Another thing is, there is another department, energy science. So energy science has this qualifier where they have to give presentation, and after presentation there is a viva, and if they fail these qualifiers they have to again sit for it, and if they fail that they will be removed from the PhD program. So so this means that there is an added advantage to the guide, that if the relationship between student and guide is not very good, they might disqualify the student during the presentation and viva voice. So if there is a uniformity, if there is a CPI based qualifier, then it does not depend on, the qualifiers won't depend on guide to student relationship.
Follow-up regarding this, okay? So I'm from one of the departments that you just mentioned. So from that, if you compare, like, one of the things that we do even when you're working in your tenure is we compare it with one of the premier institutions that are there on earth, right? So there are exam-based qualifiers where people, like PhD entrants, do a coursework for a limited amount of time, then they give a written exam or some kind of qualifying test basically, right? So what happens, what I fear here is that if you introduce a CPI based cutoff qualifier, basically, courses or getting a high CPI it can be done by anyone. When you're giving a qualifier examination, what you're telling them, in fact, and frankly I kind of oppose you when you say that preparation time is a waste, is when you're actually preparing for it, you're working on that topic. So when you're actually presenting it, so what you're trying to prove is that you have understood what you're going to be working on, and this is how you'll be proceeding with it. So that's what you want to showcase to the panel in front of you. So will that not defeat that purpose?
No, see, so I will give you a case. So what happens in these departments is they admit these PhD students and they make them work for 1 year, and after making them work for 1 year, they disqualify them, and then they again admit another PhD student and do the same thing. So if a student is meritorious, he or she will remain meritorious. It should not depend on what happens behind the closed doors in a qualifier where there is a viva. it, yeah. So, so for them it's there.
So this is basically to protect a student giving, like who's entering a PhD program from the interests of the guide, right? So can you not work around something else that will just, let's say for example, don't let the guide be the examiner in the qualifier. Let there be an unaffected panel who's sitting and actually judging
But
the student.
then they won't have expertise in the subject,
Oh,
and there is RPC members. So
Let me add on to that. Like when the qualifiers are decided, right, there is an RPC, and then there is a chairman who oversees whether it is impartial. So already there's a system in place, and the case of the student being removed only applies for TAP. TA students don't even choose their guides until the end of the first year, so it doesn't affect. And so yeah, that
yeah,
is.
So there are departments where CPI based criteria is already there, and I believe they do not have this kind of stress right now, where as my data that I have collected, I have identified that these departments have added stress of qualifiers, where departments which qualify students on CPI basis do not have this added stress on them. So,
Yeah, let's move on to the next question.
Okay, so now let's move on to mental health. So you have mentioned conduct mental health awareness session in collaboration with Student Wellness Center. So normally SWC conduct some workshops related to this mental wellness program, and also the PGAC is expected to conduct some mental health programs in collaboration with ISCP as well as IRSCP. So why do you want to do you want to conduct new programs, or do you want to introduce any new program to conduct these sessions, or why? So can you elaborate on
okay,
this?
so I want to increase the number of sessions that we have. I want to increase the total number of awareness sessions that we have, because right now I feel that PhD student mental health is very important for a PG student, and right now after Corona, like after COVID, after 2 years of lockdown, there are several mental health issues among PG community which is getting unnoticed. And if we have these mental health awareness issues frequently, then we might be able to identify these cases. Yeah.
So how do you want to implement this? Like, do you want to bring someone from outside, or do you want to have, like we have only 9 people in SWC as we have taken. So how can you improve? So they are busy with like vast number of people in the students in the institute. So they might not have that much time, so they cannot come. And we have Bandhu app and e-Dost and all. So again, from like, do you want to bring people from outside or doctors? So how do you want to implement?
Okay, so yeah, so I want to bring people from outside, one thing. Another thing, I also want to do a drive kind of session where I didn't expect our college to get COVID vaccinated for 3,000 students in 3 days. It was a kind of a big achievement that I felt, and I want to introduce something like that for the mental health drive kind of session for 3 days, where all the students get to talk to a counselor on one-to-one basis for 15 to 30 minutes, and even if they don't have any problem or any grievance, still they can talk to them, and we can identify later on that who are those students who have actual problem.
So don't you think it is impossible for each student to give 15 to 20 minutes from SWC? And also this drive program, we have that in Bandhu app. So in Bandhu app, if you log in, so they will ask you questions. So based on the answers we give, it will give output. So what is the mental state of ours? So rather than that, why do you want to conduct a drive?
Because I feel like right now in PG community, most of the students are in denial that they have some mental health issue. So for them it is there.
if they're already in denial, why would they come to your drive program?
So this DRIVE program will be for all the students, and it won't be only for PG community. It can be extended to also UG community, and we can have like vaccination drive was there.
Yeah. See, I'm already in denial. I'm sitting at room. I don't want to come to your drive. So how do you get me to the drive? That was the question. PG, UG, that is fine. So how do you get me? I'm already in denial. Whether you do a drive or Mela. So how do you get me there? That is the question. Because it's mental health is kind of very personal. Like they wouldn't come to a drive or some mega event and then share. So how do you get that? That was the question specifically.
Okay, we can introduce something entertaining for all the students. We can introduce something. So I haven't planned how to attract students to these kind of drives, but yeah, we can introduce something entertaining, something informal, some events for them to attract them to these kind of drives. Yeah.
Okay, Vishaka, I'll give you statistics. When I was IRSCP's OC, we organized an SWC workshop for the mental stress and all. So we had 3 topics, and it was just after the first wave of COVID. So people were high to attend such meetings. Now they have, all gone through. They know how to fight. At least some people. So at that time, we could, let's say, by all publicizing and all, we could find around 100 students who attended the session initially. And the first session was on meditation. After 15 minutes of the session, the number drastically reduced to 40. And after the second session, the number reduced to 15. So this is the ground reality of how many people actually want to listen to the whole conversation. And if you make it frequent, the 15 will come up to 2 or 1. And you can make a physical drive, because it was an online session, at least people would log in and sit. They may eat or something. But if it is physical, then there is, the people who will come will be a subset of what I encountered. So it's not a question other than a suggestion that you should find how to make people come to the places rather than organizing an event. So it should be a program where you can find people who can let others come up or make them realize that no, we need to speak up, we need to tell. So because the reality of this situation is very bad. The statistics is very low.
I agree to your point actually. So it is low right now, and so also I agree to your point that there are less. So I am trying to introduce something attractive into these kind of drives.
Yeah. Next.
Yeah, hi again. So I wanted to get some idea on the PG level freshers get together that you were planning. So do you plan it to be an institute wide? What is your vision based on that? Then I'll ask a second question.
Yeah, department wise. I want to introduce it as department wise. So as per my as much as I have collected the data, I believe master students do have such kind of get-togethers, fresher get-together, but PhD students do not have any such thing. Lots of departments do not have any such thing, and we can introduce these kind of freshers get-together for masters as well as PhD students. So department-wise, not institute-wise.
Okay, so will it be like your aura is conducting events, or how would you plan this? And could you also tell me on which month will you be planning something like that?
Okay, so for PhD students get admitted in 2 semesters. So for them we can have 2 times, and for master students we can have 1. So for autumn semester admission, so we can have masters as well as PhD students together, combined fresher get together, and for the December batch, for the spring semester students, we can have a new fresher get together. Also I am planning to involve auras and ISCP as well as IRSCP members in these kind of freshers get together.
So we usually, so as you have mentioned, in department level, it happens, get together happens, and as for masters concerned, after orientation, we'll have 5 days. So ISCP will take care of these 5 days, and we have department coordinators and as well as student companions. So department coordinators will frequently conduct department level meetings and department level get-togethers with seniors. So they will speak on different vast range of topics, and student companions, they have their own mentees, so they discuss about. So again, why do you want to initiate a new kind of PG freshers get-together? So it was already present. So again, why do you want to
As I said, PhD students do not have such kind of fresher get together. I didn't mean to just have an introduction, and I meant short of party for
yeah, in department it happens. So
yes.
people ask to participate, dance,
Yes.
they have fun activities and all.
So it is there for master students, not for PhD students, and especially the spring semester admitted ones. They don't have any such thing. So
Okay, then let's move on to next.
So let's move on to the skill development. So you have mentioned increase the frequency of writing and communication skills workshop, and organize problem solving workshops to train students on how to approach problems related to their research topics using programming in the department. So what is this context of writing and communication skills workshop? So PGAC normally conducts this writing and communication skills workshop. So do you have any data that how many students have been turning up for these workshops? So, and why do you want to increase? And as well as in master's program, we have 2 different types of communication skills courses. One department level course and one institute level course. So what is the difference from that course we will have in this writing and in the workshops that you are going to do?
okay, so one thing I want to say is, for communication skill, I believe there are 2 kind of communication skill: formal communication skill and informal communication skill. So formal communication skill, as per my belief, is writing letter, writing these research papers. But the informal communication skill, I believe, include various different skills, like there are several companies which come to the campus and are very impressed when they see a student talk in their language. Like there are Japanese companies, there are even off campus there are companies from Germany. They would be very impressed if we have Japanese language session or German language session. So these are informal communication skills. So we can have sessions on these, as well as the frequency of writing. The formal communication skill that I wanted to say was, so there are these workshops going on, but I believe that it should be increased, because there are PG students I believe can learn a skill where they know how to read a literature. They how to search for the research gaps in a literature, how to write a research paper, how to write efficiently a research paper in in a month. So for them we can have these kind of workshops.
I think those will be covered in the courses that they have taken, like in department level as well as institute level. And regarding these Japanese, German skills, like how many workshops do you want to conduct, and as for how many master students will be turning up? So we will be having very high coursework during first semester and second semester.
Right.
So will the students turn up, or how do you want to promote?
I believe for master students there will be highly enthusiastic students. We will be getting a huge number of students who will be aiming for placements and who would want to get themselves introduced to Japanese, because mostly companies from Japan come, and they would be very interested to know how to introduce themselves in Japanese language. Japan. Same
I
for
oppose that because they don't have time preparing their own for placements like core companies. If Japan, most probably they will be for core companies. So rather than preparing for their own subjects, why will they prepare some Japanese, some a very new topic?
yeah.
So do you think that they will turn up?
Yes, so I have a case study where there was one student who got placed once in Japan. He told us that okay, so one thing that would apart from my skills that I have, all the technical skills that I have, one thing that they were really impressed was me introducing myself in Japanese. So, and after that he informally taught all those students who wanted to crack this Japanese company. So he taught them how to introduce themselves in Japanese language. So, yeah.
What is this problem solving skills workshops? So can you elaborate on that and what do you want to implement?
Okay, so this I planned for PhD students. So they have huge data, but they don't know how to analyze those data. So if we have workshops where we tell them how to analyze these huge data, one thing. Another thing is there are softwares where PhD students do want someone experienced to give them session on how to use these softwares and how to go ahead with their research work. So for them.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, so coming back to the point of conference funding for master students. So many of the even if students come up to departments, like they need to submit a proposal which is discussed within the department before it's forwarded to the entity that deals with letting off this amount of money there, right? So it's a very departmental level decision that's made. Okay. So firstly, once students understand what kind of feedback that they get from that, do you think there is sufficient interest among students to kind of approach the department for the very first place? And adding to what he said, that master students already have a lot of coursework load in the very first semester, and when it comes to MSc students, they have a good number of courses in both the years actually, right? So that was one. And secondly, what would your actions be to try and encourage students to take up such opportunities that are being come?
So are you talking about the funding for conference levels? Okay. So again, I would say why to cross your own path. So if there is a chance for a master student or a PhD student to go and show their research work and have that bill reimbursed by the institute, why it shouldn't be? I agree that there is lot of course load on the student, but again there are students who want to go for higher studies. There are students who also want to get placed in R&D department. So for them, why to cross their path? Right now, for master students, as per my belief, there is no conference funding, and for PhD students, there is funding for only one conference level. So those students who want to go and explore want to show the world about their research work, so why they shouldn't be allowed to?
See, the first year it's basically coursework. There's no research that they're doing, either MTech or MSc both, right? Some departments even offer the students an option to not choose a MSc project or their thesis projects basically, right? So for people who are actually opting for research, they'll have a substantial amount of work done only after, say, the third semester or the fourth semester, where they'll already be placed or they would have gotten an opportunity, they'll be searching for opportunity. What time of the tenure would they actually participate in such conferences then? Like, would that actually make sense if they're doing it at the end of their MSc tenure?
Okay, so most master students, when they apply for higher studies, they apply during December. So before December, they can have a conference, and they can show that paper, published paper in their CV for if they are going for higher studies. And also same applies for the placements. So if they have a conference travel in their CV, it will be very impressive for placements. So I'm not saying that there is no course load on the students. I believe there is, and students are already having a lot of course load. But along with that, there are students who wish to have these conference funding for their conferences, and right now they look upon the research grant from IEEE or something to go for these conference travels. And if institute allows that for the student, that would be very good initiative. So I said that first I will be having a survey where we will be collecting data and identifying these instruments where students want to get their experience and are not able to get it.
So you told the availability of the instrument is not there. It's all out in the open, right? Like anybody can book it through the portal. There are slot booking system is already up. So why do you think instrument owner, somebody might be the instrument owner, but still you have a slot booking thing up and running? Where is the question of non-availability because of the instrument owner?
Okay, so yeah, so there are tools and instruments which does not require slot booking. So there are instruments which we use on a regular basis. It does not require slot booking, but yeah.
So the right approach would be to bring it on the slot booking system instead of like changing the process, right?
Yes, so I'm not changing the process completely. That process will be there. I'm not proposing to change that policy. That will be there. But along with that policy, we can have a merit-based allocation policy also.
So okay, that concludes our manifesto debate. We will move on to the next part where topic debate is done. So we have prepared 4 chits. So if you can hand it over. You pick one of the chits from the So the selected topic is about the views of the contestant on mode of MTP guide selection. Should it be merit based or based on a mutual decision between student and guide, or some other kind of setup? And should the guide selection policy be department specific or in general to the institute? Regarding this, you will get 2 minutes time to make your opening statement. Then you have to debate with the panelists.
Okay, all right. So yeah, so right now the existing system is merit-based guide selection, and if mutual decision between the student and the guide. This mostly is for the master students and not for PhD student. So yeah, so there are several departments like BSBE and ESED where there is a direct merit basis guide selection where the CPI matters a lot, and students feel their preference, and these CPIs they have these CPI cutoffs, and that's how they allocate their guides. But we also have, I have talked to some of the students where I found that there is a department, computer science department, where very good policy, guide selection policy is going on, and I believe that we can look up to that policy. So that policy is that the guides present their topics to these master students, and then these master students, whoever they like to talk, they go and talk to, they have a discussion with the guide, and then these guides give them either some coding, some programming, or some kind of interview happens, and then guide gives a preference list as well as the student gives a preference list, and based on that the whatever the FACAD decides to they allocate the guide with the highest preference of the student, and the student having the highest preference of the guide. So that's how kind of a matchmaking happens there. So yeah, so that's a very good policy, and I believe it can be extended to all the departments. But also again, yeah, so I believe that.
Yeah, the panelists can present your views and ask questions.
So it was already there in, I am from BSP department and we do have such a such process. So which other departments does have this CPI based MTP selection?
Okay.
BSP don't have, so I am from BSP.
So there are some professors who, in a department, even the professor have different policies. Some professors go with the CPI basis, some professors go with how they have interacted with the student. So there is a department, CSRE is there, and several professors from there go with the CPI basis, and some professors go with the this mutual agreement between them. So what happens is there are topics. So as Surya sir has already said that Netaji has already said that their students should not be defined on their CPI, and I also believe that students should not be only defined on a CPI, and yeah, so there are cases where CPI defines their project, so it should not be there. It should be more where there is an interaction between guide and the student, and interview, or they give some kind of task to these students and then decide.
Basically I want to keep 2 points. So first point is basically master students don't have that much time for PhD, for master selection, and professor don't have any other data except the CPI. Okay, so they basically see, some professors sees a CPI and then they feel this guy can work hard and give some results, so they basically go for it. And second view is, you basically said for PhD students we should have CPI based qualifier, and here you are asking for interview or some task, so you are contradicting here in itself for PhD and masters. So why is it so?
No, actually I'm not contradicting. What I'm trying to say, for PhD students there is already a written and already an interview when they are selecting the student, when they are admitting. Same
happens to master students. So we
not for all departments. There is gate cutoff. So there are departments where gate cutoff is there and there is no interview or written like that. So I'm not contradicting myself. PhD students. So yeah. So what was your question?
Yeah. Why do you want to introduce this? So directly you are saying CPI qualifier is there for PhD, and why do you want to introduce a interview or a test task for master students? So it is a contradiction, right?
As I already said, it isn't the contradiction.
So the same argument, right? You told it will be wasting time of PhD students, 3 months of their time. Like imagine a master student who is already crammed up with courses, and wouldn't it be wasting his time, 3 months, 2 months, whatever for?
No. So it will be defined by the guide, the criteria on what they want to select. If they want to select by CPI, it's good enough. If they want to go with another criteria, it's good enough. So I mean, it should be defined by the student as well as the guide. There are departments where only this is the system where CPI based guide selection happens. So there those students who are good in who might have good interaction with the guide but won't get it because of the CPI. So for them, yeah.
Okay, so let's for 1 second assume that this problem exists, okay, like throughout all departments. So you have a framework in mind which is followed in the CSE department, right? So would you just want to use that model and apply it on all departments? Is that the case that you're going for?
No. So I want to first have a survey, have data collected where students are not satisfied with the guide selection, and then go department wise, and not introduce this CPI, the policy of CSE department to all over the department. I won't be doing that. I will be focusing each department and then collecting their survey how the student want to have their guide selection policy.
Okay, fine. So let's come back to what was being discussed earlier, right? So let's say you're giving the department the choice to choose what they want based on the students' input to you, right? Like you're basically approaching department with this is the solution, this is the problem that the students are facing, and then this is what will solve it or not, right? So now again within the department might not include an enveloping policy for guide selection. They might again leave it to the department, the professors, who will then again decide on a criteria. Now what is happening is most of the professors are just putting a CPI barrier because they don't want to waste time behind it. Their time is being spent on speaking to 2-3 people. They might be giving off a small kind of a introduction to the topic that they're floating, but it might not. They don't really want to spend a lot of time behind that process. So what if it comes down to the professor and then they again implement a CPI based barrier? Will that really help?
Okay, so I don't have a solid plan to go, but as I believe that let's have a survey, let's collect the data, and let's see how many master students are not satisfied with the guide selection policy, and let's build a team, and we can then have a discussion on how to select what policy should we apply.
So you are saying you want to build a team. So do you have any prescribed questions or questionnaire that you want to ask the students? Because if you see the CPI criteria, so students will also find they don't know about the topic of that. So they were not involved in that much project area. So after as soon as he gets involved, so he will be interested in that topic. So why do you want to what are the questionnaire that you are planning to have if you want to take the survey?
Okay, so first question will be, do you want a CPI based guide selection policy? And also what policy is applied to your department, what policy is applied to your department, what is how your guide selects the students, and so these kind of questionnaires will be there.
Okay, so we will go to the next topic. Before that, I'll remind you that this topic debate is not about what you are planning to do, it's your opinion on that topic. Okay. So it's about, because she has not mentioned anything about this in the manifesto, so this is about the opinion of the candidate on these topics. Okay, can you select another topic? Okay, so the next topic for debate is dropout of PhD and master students, and it's about what are the key factors influencing this, and what are the current systems in place to prevent that or help mitigate this, and what are your plans, like what do you think will be the best way of tackling this? You get 2 minutes to start make the opening statement.
Okay, so there are two ways to this. One is dropout due to the stress, and another is dropout due to they have got a better opportunity. So dropout due to stress have different sections into it. One is that their research work might be stuck. One is that they do not have a good relationship with their guide. Another is they might be depressed due to some some personal issue. Another is that economic issue, that their stipend is so there are so in economic point, their stipend might be stuck, they won't be getting contingency, they might not be having HRA, or then there is also issue of married accommodation, so accommodation, not getting accommodation. And so coming back to the stress, so they might be having stress due to different kind of interest between their guide and the student, so that I believe is the major factor. Or their research might be stuck. So coming to the another question, what was your another question?
Yeah, the question was, the topic was, what are the key factors? What are the current systems in place to solve this? Or what are your plans? What extra you think you can be done to improve this?
The another factors are, like I said, the positive face of the coin, that they might have good research opportunity, or they have got selected in a job, PSU or something. So that's why they are dropping out. So and right now for mental stress there is SWC, and SWC is there for controlling the mental stress of the student. Then there are ISCP to guide, to ment these students who want to drop out. Then and there are different sessions which go on these are, and also there is a student grievance committee which is about to come up. So let's see that I'm very hopeful that we will have help from student grievance committee to mitigate the dropouts of PhD students and master students. Then also, my plan to mitigate this issue is, one thing is the economics. So we can have a proposal of loan from Dean SA. We can have a proposal of loan from IRCC. We can have we already have that IOE there, so we can have these kind of economic issue won't be there. Also we can have sessions on how to change their guide, how to easily switch the guide, and that's about it.
So the first thing about the economics, you said about loan from Dean SA, right? As you're aware, the DAP issue, this after scholarship was enhanced and the arrears were about to be released, and Dean SA had to release that money, but he hasn't released the money even though it was promised. There are other complications. So when the money is already promised, it is not being released. How would you expect money to be released just like that? So that is for the economics part. And the question was specific, like what are your plans apart from counseling? Okay, you've collected the data. What are the root causes? They are stressed out. So what are the causes? That was the question. Not stress is like very generic, right?
Okay, so root cause is so root cause is there might be a rift. Okay, so there might
continue.
So there might be a rift between the guide and the student. This is the biggest reason for dropping out between the dropping out of PhD student and master student. There might be their research might be stuck and they don't have any other way, they don't see any other way for to advance their research. Another stress that mental stress that they can have is so the research interest of the guide and the student might be different. So there are various fellowships like TAP, CSIR, UGC, TA. So I have, as much as I have collected my data, I believe that most problems are with TAP and CSIR students. So in these categories, TAP students, sometimes what happens is their stipends get stuck and they are not able to they don't know what path to take now since their stipend has been stuck. Another thing is with TAP category students is that they don't know how to publish their research work, and also they have lot of work burden by the guide. One is having TA duty and then having the project work and then having their research work. So these kind of stress are there for TAP category students. Another is for CSIR students. For CSIR there is many problems, I would say. They have their stipend stuck, their HRA, contingency, everything. So these are some factors which lead to mental stress and which leads to the ultimate dropout of a PhD student.
What you said, like you split them into two segments, like one of them who have better opportunities and are going away, and then the others who are just facing problems within their own this thing, right? So what portion of the students can you actually do you think you can actually control? Just a minor point here. Like one portion of students are actually leaving their programs because of better opportunities.
Yes.
Right. So and the other. So out of these two, which will you actually try to reach out to? What is your opinion behind it? And yeah, I think we'll then.
Okay, so one thing is that I would go with the ones who are dropping due to the stress, but also those who are dropping because they have better opportunities, they are wasting a seat. So that is one thing, but I don't think I will be reaching out to them. I will be reaching out to those who are dropping out due to the stress they have.
I have just one question. In the whole conversation you have spoke about the data that you have collected. What is the source of the data? It's informal or informal?
It is very much formal. So I was executive member and I was handling the grievances portal of PGAC. So the grievances that we got during my tenure were mostly of CSIR students of not getting these fellowships. And when I personally went and talked to them, to a whole group of them, I got to know that they are facing a lot of stress due to the stipend, not timely dispersal of these stipends. So yeah, and so it is very much formal. And same with the TAP. I am working in PGAC from 2 years, and I am making that proposal again and again for these TAP policy changes. I have some positive result also, like the TA duty now has been restricted. A TAP category student can either do TA duty for 8 hours or can have project duty for 8 hours. So that's a very positive thing. Another thing is, another positive thing that it is in pipeline is that the TAP category students, once their project gets stopped, once the funding is stopped from the agency, they can change their category from TAP to TA category. So that's a very positive change. But still we have a long way to go, and yeah, so I will be working hard to change these policies.
Yeah, one question regarding the non-dispersal of funds was a very important point that you stressed on, right? So when it comes to CSIR, so let's say there are X number of students that are given CSIR positions in the institute, and so I want to first confirm that every year's intake, like students whoever are coming in with CSIR grants, they're not being given the grants, right? So why don't you just push for reducing the number of intakes of students from the CSIR budget? Because they're not being able to pay anyway. The students who are actually entering programs are facing more stress because of it, and then that continues down the loop. So is that actually an option?
No, it's a different what you're saying is actually incorrect. So issues different with CSIR. It's not that not all students get the funding. Yeah, it is only the release of the fund is the issue. Yeah, timely dispersal of the fund is the issue. Everyone gets the.
As in, yeah.
Yeah. You can.
So regarding master students, so do you have any data like how many students are dropping out because of these mental issues?
Due to mental issues.
Yeah, like opportunities. Obviously, many students drop out in master student because of better opportunities. But regarding mental issues, do you have any data or do you have any background for that?
No, I don't have it right now, but I can conduct the survey and collect data on how many master students are dropping out due to mental stress. So, yeah.
It's been very, very low. So it's very negligible dropout due to mental stress. And
Okay.
ISCP handles that.
Okay, so yeah, I will be collaborating with ISCP to collect that data.
Any other rebuttals? Okay, I think then we can stop the topic debate. I would like to thank all the panel members for the debate on manifesto points as well as the topic. Okay, thank you. You can sit for a second. Okay, so we will move ahead to the next part, that is background check. So you have given 2 credentials of the working with the PGAC in the last 2 tenures. So can you tell me, as in the first tenure as ACC, what were your duties and what are the highlights of the work you have done?
Okay, I was given 2 things. One was placements, collecting the survey for placements and how PhD students and master students want to have their placements, what kind of vertical they want. So one was that, and another was the TAP policies. So I was a TAP category myself at that time. So I was facing lots of issues at that time. So when I came to PGAC, when I became academic council coordinator, first thing that I did was surveying the electrical department students on the TAP category issue and how much work they are doing, for how many hours they are doing it, and if their project and the research topic are different, and are they allowed to publish their project results into some journal or not. So after that we got around 16 responses from there. So then we floated this form to the whole institute, and we expanded this survey since there were issues with other departments also. And yeah, so after having that survey, we realized that yes, there are many issues which can be which we can have a solution. And then I was also involved in making the proposal of this TAP category students and what are the policies that we want. So I was involved in that, and yeah, so these 2 things I was involved during the highlights.
So you were involved in the placement this thing as well, right? So what happened to that? Like what is the status now?
Okay, so we successfully got a placement vertical for PG students, PhD and master students in my 2021 tenure. We successfully got that, and we had 2 placement managers from PhD section. So yeah, it was successful, the vision was successful, but since it was the first year, we have a long way to go right now.
Okay. So coming to your second tenure, so since we were discussing about CSIR a lot, so and as you were part of the grievance committee, so what happened to that issue and what is the status now in CSIR issue?
Okay, we had lots of meetings, and I got to know that the life of a CSIR student is very stressful, and there are many students who are mentally stressed out because of how painful this CSIR issue is. So I got to know that, I identified that, and then we proposed it to the Dean AP, and we had a meeting with Dean AP, and then we have got a positive reply from them that they will be escalating this issue to CSIR officials, and let's see, I'm very hopeful that there might be some positive change.
So can you just inform the audience what are the main issues within the CSIR that discussion you had? What are the main issues which you raised?
Okay, so one is not timely disbursal of CSIR, CSIR fellowship. Another is HRA. There are so many complications in getting the HRA, so many documents they have to fill, and there is a portal, this is new FMS portal, where they have to get signatures from different authorities, and then it is redirected again to the lower officials, and they have to again sign it, so which makes it a very hectic, and it also takes a lot of time to get these HRAs, and same goes for contingency. Another thing is that they have different time for APS, so they have to submit their report for December batch, they have to submit it in December, for June batch they have to submit it in December, but institute has now has extended their this APS date and this report submission date, and it is kind of clashing with, not clashing, it is far apart from the CSIR date, and it is also a part of the stress that I'm talking about.
Okay. So we will move on to the Q&A session. I invite Insight representatives to come and ask the questions. You can ask 4 questions, and you also are allowed to have rebuttals.
Hi everyone, I'm Achinta, I'm from Insight. I'd like to start by apologizing because I'm a UG student and our PG representative could not be here today. He has a deadline. So I probably won't be asking any rebuttals because I myself don't have much idea. I'll just be reading out the questions that have been given. So the first question is, how are you anticipating meeting the cost for setting up HPCs and anechoic chambers? Is this not better left to be handled by individual departments?
Okay, so recently we had a IOE meeting where we got to know that there is a funding of 1,000 crore rupees, and I believe that if we push, we can take forward our PG community, IIT Bombay, to the Ivy League standards, and there is problem of HP. There are various research facilities where the waiting time to get hands on these research facilities is very long. Like there is a waiting list of 1 week or 2 weeks for getting the time for this space time and getting time for HPCs. So yeah, if we increase the number of HPCs, the wait time will reduce, and if the wait time reduces, the research will automatically be better.
Just to confirm, did you say 1,000 crore rupee funding?
Yes.
Okay. Right. My second question is, how will you be going about introducing your academic help program for first year PhD students? How are you hoping to attract people for the same?
Okay, so we can collaborate with ISCP and IRSCP, and during orientation have a introductory session and tell them about this program, and yeah, that's how I feel like we can collaborate with IRSCP and have awareness session that there is a program where PhD students who need guidance can be given guidance.
If I'm not wrong, the collaboration with ISCP or ISRCP is not mentioned in the manifesto, is it?
Yes, you are right. It isn't. I'm sorry I'm sorry for that.
My final question is, 15 of the 23 manifesto points that you have put in the manifesto seem to be the same as those of last year's GSA PG candidate, Vishnuraj. Why and how do you think your tenure would be different with regards to the execution of all your plans?
Okay, so I believe that change does not happen overnight. It takes time. So, so it's okay to complete the task which has been already started by my previous tenure and complete it by this tenure, rather than introducing new points and again leaving it in between.
Right. My question was, what will you be doing differently to Krishna Raj such that these points go to completion? Because again,
Okay, so
a lot of them are the same. So
yeah, so the main difference between Krishna's tenure and my tenure is that Krishna's tenure was online and mine will be offline. And so yeah, so there was lot less workforce during online and there were COVID outbreaks. So in that major chunk of time was lost due to these COVID outbreaks, and I believe that we won't be having any other COVID outbreaks, and yeah, we can efficiently work this tenure.
Thank you, Achintya. So we will next move on to audience questions. Audience members, any questions, please ask. You can raise your hand, then you can come here and ask the question.
Okay, so 26th March is the Gymkhana elections date, and please go and vote. Please vote for me. If elected, I will be enthusiastically representing PG community. I will be the voice for all the issues faced by PG community, and yeah, let's build a great PG community together.
Thank you, panel.